Meet the biggest, baddest RVs ever to hit the open road. These one-of-a-kind kings of the highway dominate every inch of the asphalt.
This thing weighs 54,000 pounds, and most of the time I blow a truck around.
These rides are over the top, custom made to match their owners, who blew past every roadblock on their quest to build the ultimate rig. No detail is too small, no price too high, and no demand too outlandish when you're creating one of these bad boys. If you're gonna spend 75% of your life on the road, you need an RV that feels exactly like home. But what if you just can't find it? If you're Joe and Donna Regenstein, you design it yourself with a list of non-negotiables that include every bell and whistle and horn your heart desires.
We probably spend about 3/4 of our time in the bus. So this is really our home. As my license plate says, it's our cow, or condo on wheels.
Burned out from years of flying, Joe is making good on a promise he made himself during his working days.
In my other life, I flew across the country constantly. I was constantly traveling back and forth, never saw the country. In the motorhome, I get to see this country, and it's amazing. I've seen places I never dreamt of.
Joe and his wife Donna were no strangers to the RV game, having owned 7 through the years, but not a single one ever met their many demands. So when it came to finding number 8, they decided the only way they would get what they want is to design it themselves.
As we've gone from coach to coach, you keep making a list of things you'd like to have or do things differently. We were at a point where we decided that this time we wanted to build one from the ground up.
They started with the very top of the line. Millennium Luxury Coaches 45-foot quad slide Prevost is already one of the biggest, baddest RVs that money can buy. But even the best of the best wasn't enough for Joe.
I had a rather lengthy laundry list of things that we wanted, and no was not in the vocabulary.
Joe special ordered an extra-large office space opposite the luxurious living area that opens directly into a top-of-the-line kitchen and dining area. Good, but not good enough for Donna, who insists on traveling with a $15,000 collection of crystal. Millennium removed several interior walls to make room for cabinets to hold it all, complete with custom LED lighting.
And they just pop open. All of the crystal is glued down, basically, and they don't move. And they sit there while we go down the road.
Cost of displaying that crystal? A cool $5 grand. But that was only the beginning. Joe and Donna certainly weren't going to stop there. For Joe's kind of roadshow, he ordered 5 TV screens so he can walk the length of the living space from salon to kitchen to bedroom without a moment's interrupted viewing. Especially when it's a movie from his collection of 400 Blu-ray discs, all available at the touch of a button on every device in the place. Fact is, Joe can do a lot with those buttons, like making sure he always comes home to the perfect temperature.
I can actually dial it in. If we've been out shopping or whatever, if it's really hot, I can actually log into the coach, turn our airs down, so when we get back, it's very cool, or if it's been cold, it's very warm.
Joe was not going to settle for less than perfect, down to the smallest details. He poured money into things that most of us wouldn't even notice, like raising the height of the vanity by 2 inches so he and Donna wouldn't have to stoop over. They even insisted on a custom seat just for the dogs.
A bigger seat for the dogs. We actually got a buddy seat on the passenger side so that there would be room for the dogs to sit and ride.
Creature comforts aside, Joe's also a stickler for safety. Any cruise control can maintain a constant speed. Joe wanted an RV that can also sense when it needs to hit the brakes.
If you're on cruise control and, like, say somebody passes you and then cuts real close in front of you, it automatically slows you down.
Joe even went wild when it came to maneuvering this monster machine. 4 cameras are standard issue for seeing front, back, and sides. So Joe doubled that and ordered 8 for maximum coverage. Plus, he added an infrared camera for night driving.
That's what I'm looking for, is deer about to enter the highway, people walking on a dark road, a car pulled over.
If there is anything up ahead, Joe ordered up a horn that nobody can ignore in the city, highway, or country.
When nothing else works to get one's attention, that tends to do it.
The cost for all these cameras, $4,500. But Joe still wasn't satisfied. Even with all those cameras, there was still a blind spot. So he ordered hidden sensors that can actually pick up the presence of another vehicle pulling up next to his.
I have indicators at the dash that will go off so I don't change lanes.
When Joe is on a mission to make everything perfect, no detail is too small. Not even the bugs on the windshield.
What I've added to the front bay is a water source that passes through my AquaHot, giving me hot water to wash the windshield and melt the bugs and clean it up afterwards.
The guts of this epic system are housed in the undercarriage storage compartments. 5 massive bays are tricked out with everything the couple needs to survive on their own. Self-sustaining electrical power, water supply and plumbing system, heating and air conditioner, and the nerve center for the computers and TV screens.
This is male's turf here. My wife wants no part of this.
Here's a storage bay Donna does care about. A fully equipped electric grill designed like everything else in this home, a Class A job, but taking up minimal space.
You have your switches over here, turn it on and off, whatever temperature you need, and it's ready to go.
Ready to go is Joe and Donna's motto, and thanks to their precision, they have the home of their dreams all on wheels. So how many zeros would you write on a check for this one-of-a-kind palace on wheels? Find out next. It's a state-of-the-art 45-foot quad slide condo on wheels with 8 surveillance cameras, 5 TVs, and enough space to keep the couple on the road for 8 months. This beauty rolls in at $2.2 million. What happens when bigger isn't big enough? If you're Terry White, you insist on an epic RV that not only dominates the open road, it goes the extra mile on the inside as well. Terry White has owned planes and helicopters. He's got a garage full of cars and motorcycles. This is a guy who's always on the move.
I'm a motorhead. I just love it.
He's a toy boy.
It figures. A motorhead would go totally over the top on an epic RV. But Terry's very tough to please. He went through 4 RVs in 6 years. For him, even the biggest weren't big enough to really own the road.
When a Class A goes down the road and a truck goes by, the coach is all over the road, you know, because it's blowing it, because it's lighter.
The moment Terry got behind the wheel of a massive, top-of-the-line 45-foot quad slide from Millennium Luxury Coach, he confirmed his motto, bigger is better.
This thing weighs 54,000 pounds, and most of the time I blow a truck around.
The bones of this big bruiser are a Prevost chassis, the same one they make for Greyhound cross-country buses.
You can get in this thing and just take off and drive 8-10 hours and feel good when you get out of the seat.
The price tag for this heavyweight chassis rings up at a staggering $700,000. And remember, that's just for the chassis. For Terry's wife, Jeannie, things got even better when she looked at what's inside.
It was like walking into a jewelry store. It was just beautiful.
Beautiful, but not exactly what this couple had in mind. So they wanted a redo before it was even off the lot.
When we originally saw the coach, it had 2 bar stools and a bar area, which was beautiful, but for our entertaining, we wanted a J lounge because there was a little more room, and I just think it's more comfortable.
There are 4 slides, 2 in the main room and 2 in the bedroom, that expand to create 480 square feet of indoor room to roam. And in the bathroom, there's a toilet that's so comfortable, using it is almost a guilty pleasure.
I've never even seen this in a home before. It has a heated seat, and it will wash you and dry you.
The clever toilet and bidet combo is connected to the central automation system and cost Terry and Jeannie a cool $5K. Terry hates messing with gadgets, so he insisted on a custom central control tablet that keeps things simple.
It shows you all the different functions, and you can go to anything you want. You can hit climate, and you can change the temperature in any one of the rooms that you want, 4 different rooms. The awnings, the shades, at night, anything you want to use with the coach. And not being a computer person, you can see everything is large, easy to read. It's easy to run the whole coach.
State-of-the-art convenience ain't cheap. This central control system runs $100,000. It also buys peace of mind. This massive machine is smart enough to recognize who's at the door.
Anybody home?
I can put that monitor on, and I can actually see them and talk to them while they're outside.
And whenever they have to park it somewhere and leave it, it's smart enough to send out a text message when there's trouble. Like if a thunderstorm knocks out the electricity and shuts down the security systems.
If there's no power coming into this coach, it'll send myself an email, and also Millennium will get an email saying that we do not have power, there's a problem, and then we can call the campground and say, go out and check on it.
Terry likes the way this juggernaut works, but he had a big problem with the way it looked when it came off the assembly line.
Terry's colorblind, and so he couldn't see all the beautiful designs on the outside.
So Millennium repainted the colossal coach.
I like a lot of white and contrasting colors because I can see that, so I'm real happy with it now.
But there was one more detail he wasn't happy with. The new RV paint job clashed with the color of Terry's Hummer, his favorite tow vehicle. No way he could settle for that.
It was bright yellow with a checker flag on the front of it, and it wouldn't have matched at all.
So Millennium stepped up and custom painted the Hummer as well. Cost $35,000. Even with an RV as enormous as this one, it still wasn't enough. Terry wanted even more space for entertaining friends. He wanted the whole outdoors to be his party room.
For the outdoor entertainment, it's got a full TV that pulls out and turns in any direction. It's got a sound system outside. It's got a built-in barbecue that pulls out of the side, and the table folds out so you can do the cooking. You don't really have to come into the coach if you have a lot of people over, and that's kind of nice.
The cost for taking the party outside? 20 grand installed. When Terry is ready to bring this behemoth home, he needs a supersized parking space, which of course he already has. A garage big enough to hold 6 cars and 10 motorcycles can also make room for an epic RV, until it's time to hit the road for the next adventure. So what would you have to shell out for an RV with a chassis so tough it's guaranteed to last 1,000,000 miles? With an interior customized to fit your lifestyle like a glove? Find out next. This big boy is 45 feet of unmatched luxury. An epic quad slide offering nearly 500 square feet of living space, decked out with high-end everything, touchscreen technology, and a custom paint job from nose to tail. This high-roller mobile mansion is all in at $2.2 million.